Talking to young people with respect is not just about speaking kindly or avoiding harsh words. It's about creating a space where they feel valued, heard, and empowered. Respectful communication helps bridge generational gaps, builds mutual understanding, and fosters trust. As the world continues to change rapidly, the way we engage with the younger generation must evolve as well. This begins with acknowledging that young people have unique perspectives, shaped by modern experiences, and to truly connect with them, we must meet them where they are, not where we wish they were. One of the first steps in talking to young people with respect is to listen actively. Too often, adults approach conversations with a predetermined agenda or a lecture in mind. Instead of truly listening, they wait for their turn to speak. Active listening involves giving full attention, making eye contact, and being present. It means asking clarifying questions and showing genuine interest in what the young person has to say. When a young person speaks, respond with curiosity rather than judgment. Ask open-ended questions that invite them to share more, such as, "What do you think about that?" Or, "Can you tell me more?" This shows that their opinion matters and that you respect their thoughts and feelings. Another essential aspect of respectful communication is avoiding condescension. Young people can easily detect when they are being talked down to. Phrases like, "You'll understand when you're older," or "I know better because I've lived longer," may seem harmless, but often come across as dismissive. Instead, engage with them as individuals with valid perspectives, even if they differ from your own. Acknowledge their experiences and validate their feeling. Saying things like, "That sounds really challenging," or "I can see why you'd feel that way," helps them feel seen and respected. Empathy goes a long way in building respectful communication. Try to put yourself in their shoes and understand what they might be going through. The world young people are growing up in today is vastly different from the one older generations experienced. They face unique challenges related to technology, mental health, social media pressures, and identity exploration. Respectful communication involves recognizing these challenges without minimizing them. When discussing difficult topics, maintain a calm and non-reactive tone. Avoid interrupting or becoming defensive. If a young person expresses something that you disagree with, take a moment to understand their reasoning before responding. This does not mean you have to agree with everything they say, but it does mean engaging in a dialogue rather than a debate. Show respect by being open to learning from them. Young people often have insights that adults may not have considered. Whether it's about social issues, technology, or cultural trends, there is much to learn from their viewpoints. Demonstrating a willingness to learn sends a powerful message that respect is mutual, language matters in respectful communication. Avoid using labels or making assumptions based on age. Refrain from stereotyping young people as lazy, entitled, or naive. Instead, focus on individual qualities and contribution. Compliment their efforts and strengths and express appreciation for their ideas. Respect also involves setting boundaries respectfully. If there is a need to correct behavior or address a conflict, do so with kindness and clarity. Avoid yelling, shaming, or using sarcasm. Instead, express your concerns using I statements such as, "I feel hurt when just I noticed that." This keeps the conversation constructive rather than confrontational. Consistency and honesty are also key. Be truthful in your communication and follow through on your words. Young people respect adults who are authentic and reliable. If you make a mistake or say something hurtful, own up to it and apologize. This models accountability and shows that respect includes humility. Timing is another important factor. Choose appropriate moments for serious conversations and be mindful of the young person's mood and environment. A respectful conversation is more likely to happen when both parties are calm and receptive. Avoid springing serious topics on them unexpectedly or during stressful time. Nonverbal communication plays a big role as well. Your body language, facial expressions, and tone of voice all convey respect, or the lack of it. Maintain a relaxed posture, use a gentle tone, and make appropriate eye contact. These subtle cues can make a significant difference in how your message is received. One powerful way to talk to young people with respect is to share your own experiences without imposing them. Tell stories from your life that relate to what they're going through, but frame them as just that. Stories, not prescriptions. Let them draw their own lessons rather than dictating what they should think or do. Respectful communication also means giving space for silence. Sometimes young people need time to process their thoughts or emotions before responding. Don't rush to fill every silence or push for immediate answers. Let the conversation breathe. Encourage their independence in decision-making. Ask for their input when making family or group decisions. This could be as simple as choosing a movie or as significant as planning a trip. Involving them in the process shows that you value their voice. Celebrate their achievements, no matter how small. A respectful conversation includes praise and encouragement. Acknowledge their progress and express confidence in their abilities. This boosts their self-esteem and motivates them to keep growing. It's also crucial to respect their privacy. Unless there's a serious concern for their safety, avoid prying into their personal matters or reading their messages without permission. Trust is a cornerstone of respectful relationships, and respecting boundaries builds that trust. When young people feel disrespected, they may shut down or become rebellious. To prevent this, create a culture of respect in all interactions. Set a positive example in how you talk to others, friends, colleagues, strangers, and they will learn from your behavior. Avoid sarcasm or mocking language, even in jest. What might seem funny to you could feel hurtful to a young person. Humor is valuable in building rapport, but it should never come at the expense of someone's dignity. Recognize that young people are in a constant state of learning and change. They may make mistakes or hold views that evolve over time. Respect means allowing room for growth without judgment. Be patient and supportive as they navigate their journey. Encourage open dialogue where they feel safe to express differing opinions. Create an environment where disagreement does not lead to disapproval. Let them know that their value is not based on agreement, but on being true to themselves. Celebrate diversity in thought, background, and expression. Respectful communication embraces inclusivity and seeks to understand rather than conform. Remember, respect is not a one-time act, but a continuous effort. Every interaction is an opportunity to build or break trust. By choosing words and actions that affirm dignity, we not only communicate effectively, but also nurture meaningful relationships. Respecting young people helps them become respectful adults. It teaches them how to engage with others thoughtfully, listen empathetically, and stand firm in their values while being open to growth. These are life skills that ripple through communities and generations. The impact of respectful communication is far-reaching. When young people feel respected, they are more likely to open up, seek guidance, and build strong relationships with mentors, peers, and family members. They develop a sense of worth and belonging that fuels their confidence and purpose. Ultimately, talking to young people with respect is an investment in the future. It plants seeds of trust, understanding, and compassion. It bridges gaps and dissolves barriers. It empowers the next generation to rise with integrity, courage, and empathy. And in doing so, it transforms not only their lives, but also the world they will inherit and shape. Talking to young people with respect is not a passive act, but an ongoing conscious decision that must be made in every interaction. This approach requires emotional intelligence, patience, and a willingness to challenge personal biases. One of the key areas that often requires attention is how adults respond to criticism or pushback from young people. Instead of reacting defensively, consider the courage it takes for a young person to speak up. Their willingness to express disagreement or dissatisfaction is not necessarily a sign of disrespect. It may actually reflect trust. They are trusting you enough to be honest. Respect that vulnerability. Validate their perspective, even if you disagree. You can say something like, "I hear what you're saying, and I appreciate you sharing your thoughts with me." Such responses build confidence in communication. Avoid dismissing their concerns with phrases like, "You're too young to understand," or "This isn't a big deal." What may seem minor to an adult can feel monumental to a young person. Respect involves recognizing the emotional significance of their experiences, even if they differ from your own. Another important practice is to avoid comparison. Statements like, "When I was your age," often lead to disconnect rather than connection. Every generation faces its own set of challenges. Instead of comparing, focus on empathizing. Try saying, "I can imagine how tough that must feel in today's world." It's about making them feel supported rather than measured against outdated standards. Respectful communication also includes the ability to give advice without imposing it. Instead of telling them what to do, offer options and let them consider their choices. Use phrases like, "One thing that helped me was," or "Have you considered trying?" These suggestions open doors rather than close them. Young people value autonomy, and respectful dialogue nurtures their decision-making skill. Trust them enough to figure things out and be there to guide them rather than control them. Create safe spaces for open conversation. Young people are more likely to talk when they know they won't be judged or punished for expressing themselves. Make it clear that your goal is understanding, not punishment. Respectful communication builds resilience. When young people know they can talk to someone without fear of ridicule or shame, they're more likely to seek support when it truly matters. They're also more likely to listen in return. Mutual respect leads to mutual influence. Respect is shown not just in big conversations, but in everyday interactions. Say please and thank you. Acknowledge their efforts. Show appreciation for their time and input. These small acts create an environment of respect that makes larger conversations easier. Pay attention to their passions and interests. If a young person is passionate about music, gaming, sports, art, or social issues, take the time to learn about it. Ask questions and show genuine interest. This communicates that you respect their individuality and are willing to engage on their terms. Another area where respectful communication is essential is during conflict resolution. Avoid power struggles and instead aim for collaboration. Ask them how they would resolve the issue and listen to their suggestions. Even if their solution isn't perfect, validate their effort and work together to find a compromise. Keep your tone calm and your body language open. Do not use threats or ultimatums, as these often backfire and damage trust. Teach through dialogue, not dominance. Also, be aware of how you handle emotion. Yelling or showing frustration during disagreements teaches young people to associate communication with conflict. Instead, model emotional regulation. Let them see that it's possible to express strong feelings respectfully and constructively. Acknowledge their emotions as well. Say things like, "I can see you're upset, and I want to understand why." This invites honesty and shows that their feelings are valid. One of the most respectful things you can do is to allow young people to express themselves without interruption. Give them time to articulate their thoughts, even if they struggle to find the right words. Avoid finishing their sentences or correcting their grammar unless they ask for help. Let them own their voice. It's also important to avoid making everything a lesson. Sometimes young people just want to be heard, not advised. If they come to you with a problem, ask if they want advice or just someone to listen. Respect means giving what's needed, not what's convenient. When it comes to digital communication, the principles of respect still apply. Don't spy on their online activity unless there's a safety concern, and avoid posting about them without permission. Respect their digital boundaries just as you would their physical one. If you're communicating via text or messaging, be mindful of tone. Without facial expressions and vocal cues, messages can be easily misunderstood. Use emojis, thoughtful punctuation, or follow-up messages to clarify tone if needed. Avoid criticizing or lecturing over text. Sensitive topics are best handled face-to-face or at least via voice. Use technology as a bridge, not a barrier. Another aspect of respectful communication is being culturally and socially aware. Young people today are more diverse and aware of social issues than ever before. Respect means educating yourself on topics like gender identity, mental health, racial equality, and inclusivity. If a young person identifies in a way you don't understand, ask respectful questions and do your own research. Don't invalidate their identity or beliefs because they differ from yours. Respect includes the effort to understand and support, even when the journey is unfamiliar. Part of talking to young people with respect is recognizing their agency. Let them participate in decisions that affect them. Ask for their input on family rules, school plans, or household responsibilities. This empowers them and teaches them how to take ownership of their life. When young people feel involved, they become more engaged and responsible. Feedback should be constructive, not critical. Instead of saying, "You never do anything right," say, "I noticed you had a hard time with this. Can we talk about how to make it easier?" Focus on behaviors, not character. Respectful feedback targets actions, not identity. Encourage reflection rather than instill shame. Teach them that mistakes are part of growth and that feedback is a tool for learning, not punishment. Respect also means respecting silence. Not all young people are ready to talk right away. Give them space and let them know you're available when they are. Repeatedly pressuring them to talk can lead to shutdown. Let them come to you when they're ready. Being available, consistent, and calm builds the kind of trust that makes conversations happen naturally. Let your respect be a quiet presence, not a loud demand. Another way to talk respectfully is to practice gratitude. Thank them when they help out, when they're honest, or when they show courage. Gratitude reinforces positive behavior and affirms their value. A simple "thank you for sharing that with me, it means a lot," can have a profound effect. Respect means recognizing that their time, energy, and honesty are gifts, not obligations. Remember that respect is reciprocal. If you expect respect, you must also give it, even in discipline. Uphold dignity, even in disagreement. uphold kindness, even in correction, uphold encouragement. Respectful communication teaches young people that they matter, not just for what they do, but for who they are. It teaches them that they can trust you, not only with their action, but with their hearts. In a world that often tells young people to be quiet or compliant, your respect tells them they can be bold and authentic. You become not just a guide, but a partner. And that kind of relationship lasts far beyond childhood. It carries into adulthood, where the respect you model becomes the respect they show others. This is how we build a respectful society, one conversation at a time. Through listening, validating, encouraging, and believing in young people, we create a culture of trust and empowerment. Talking to young people with respect is not about giving up authority. It's about using authority wisely. It's about realizing that respect multiplies influence, while disrespect diminishes it. When young people feel respected, they are far more likely to listen, grow, and thrive. This is the foundation of lasting connection and the heart of truly meaningful communication.